Hello. Time for the exhaust, and I'm not exhausted, but anyway, that was a shit joke. Let's do this. I'm going to show you everything on the table. There's no point wasting time. This is the cheapest of everything I can find online, and cheap is definitely not going to be good, but some things you can get away. This is a 100 cell cat, cheapest one on eBay. That was $28.09, and the resonator was $50. That Canon muffler dump that looks cute, that looks like it belongs on a motorbike, was $37.49 from eBay. Let me show you that. I want to attach this to the back of this, and on the other side, I want to run this reducer that goes to the factory muffler, so at night I can actually drive the car and sign it. These are flexis. One's the OG, two layers of mesh. One's got this new congregated stuff. It's stiff as. I'm not sure if I'll use this. These pipes were mostly from ECS exhaust. They vary from 1997 to 38.4 or to 38.14. I can't give you a total until I let you know what I used. Don't forget that this cutout valve was from AliExpress, and it was $101.99, and the one open, one shut design is on the switch, because remote control, the ones on the button are shit. Don't try to convince me. The exhaust wrap is $7.73. Let's hope this doesn't have asbestos in it, because China's known for palming that stuff off, and this did come from AliExpress. Now, there are three ways you can actually put the exhaust together. You got the 2-bolt flange, but they are the most expensive. These are the OG. You will get a million Ks out of that, but budget and seeing how many I need, probably need like 10, and I'm not going to put $280. Now, as for the second cheapest option, V-band. Now, I've got 6 of these. Don't ask why. I just like them. But the V-band itself was $12.04 each, because from eBay you buy like a 4-pack or 6-pack, and their price does go down. They told me they were mild steel, and then they turn around and they tell me it's iron and something else mixed. If I can weld that, I can weld it. If not, we got option 3. Is the cheapest. I'll show it to you. These bands, look how many I got. Now I can use them on another car on a later day. Now, as for the exhaust band, $11.47 each. Some people like them, some people don't. When you're trying to put together two different materials, like let's say if a pipe was stainless steel, another one was titanium, people use them. You can put the exhaust together as long as they butt up. You can put a mild steel pop rivet if you really want, so the thing won't slip, or just paint the whole thing black when you're done. So if it does slip, you see it. Should be okay as long as we get the exhaust mounts right. I need to go the most cheapest and best way. Now, my welder's been a real pain in the bum. If it does well, we're going to use it. If not, as for this, we got the exhaust O2 sensor bung, because we're already getting check engine lights because it's picking up the second exhaust. The O2 sensor not getting anything, so we'll try to put that in a nice position. Trying to do this as quick as possible. Now, just one last look at the board. We don't have a lot of money. Now, we got 530 and 79 left, and we still got to factor in the FMU, which was like 150 or something. I'll go back through the invoices. And the last exhaust I got, just let you know, it was behind it was pretty much a catback, and I provided the muffler. It was $800. So we don't have. This whole table is nowhere near that, and let's just basically put an exhaust together, and yeah, we're coming down to the business end, full send. Okay, underneath the car, this is where the real pain in the bum. Firstly, you can tell this was welded on an angle, because I had to weld it off the car. Now, I am going to have to level that out, so it will just make the welding a lot better. We need to clear the oil drain and then go through here. Now, the exhaust is going to sit a tad lower than factory, but not too much. And the only exhaust you're going to see is due to the pipe actually being bigger, which it is, from 1.75 to 2.5. And now I'm just going to chop it up, make sure I don't ruin the dump pipe, and try to make it all fit. Oh, hello there. Okay, I've started tack welding. If you could see, like the bends and that. Now, this is why you take my advice and you don't do dumb shit that I did and you lift your turbo up by 30 mils. This is the knock-on effect. I gotta clear the oil drain line, and even then, still a bit on an angle. So I'll try to recut that and reposition it. But yeah, just turbo that much higher. That's all it is. But we're gonna keep going. We do have some clearance when you compare the rest of the car, how low it is. I sort of want the exhaust to not be the first thing that hits. But yeah, let's keep welding. Come on, be good to me. Be good to me. Come on, be good. Oh yeah, I'll take that. That's sick. Nice clearance to the sump. Okay, so we have sort of made some progress on the dump. Now that's loosely up there, so to be shaky. Now we are following the factory path. Now the factory path usually does this. It goes up here. Now you could probably maybe see a sensor plug there. I'll just keep that in mind. I'll tell you what that is here a minute here. Now we're thinking about putting a flexi joint around here because um because A, if the engine rocks, the whole exhaust from the front won't break, and B, we want to put the 2-bolt flange here, so if we ever had to service the sump or anything, we can basically just take the front section off. Now now Hyundai did that as well. I'll just show you. Yeah, I'll just show you very quickly. They had the flexi at the front. That plug I was talking about is the oxygen sensor. So that was getting readings after the cat. So first the cat. So there's one before the catalytic converter and there's one after. Basically trying to tell the car, oh look, he still has his emission gear. Now I just noticed this comes with a bung on it. Now I'm hoping that's the same thread size, because if so, then we don't need to weld this in. Makes life a lot easier than trying to drill a hole. And I'll show you. The cat will probably go like this, so the bung will be facing towards the back. So it's so the reading is post filter, not pre filter of the cat. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. We are starting to run out of time. There's a bit of an ultimatum, so yeah, full send. You take your wins when you can, and look at that. That does fit on the Cali converter. So if you do get one of these eBay ones and they got like a nut on the side or something, um, don't buy an exhaust bung if you intend to put one of the oxygen sensors near the Cali converter. So that's good. That's a win. Saves us a few bucks. Clearance like. There are two parts of the exhaust that I knew is going to kick my ass. First one was the bend from the dump. We have done that. So that's one out of two. The second one, I'll show you. Now, this is where I want this to sit, because, like I said, you've got to be able to take the exhaust off and still be able to get to the sump. Let's do like a Hyundai thing here, just the same way that they had it. Now, getting it up here, I'm thinking right angle, well, 45-degree angle, I mean. But the only issue is I don't know if I'm going to have the clearance to quickly bring it in to a flange. So, wish me luck. I'm gonna go at war with it, and if I do pull this off, I do want to. I want to show you something. If I pull it off, though, I want to use this. This is the factory, like a hanger. You can basically take that off. I think I'll just I'll cut it off, and I'm gonna weld it to the back and use the factory hangers because it works well. Why not? And then just weld that onto the new 2.5-inch pipe. I do hope I do got the clearance. I've noticed some people online, their exhaust systems are a bit funny. Like they go like Yeah, they don't exactly go up. I think it could be an issue, but hopefully they were running like 3-inch exhaust. So fingers crossed. Let's go to war with it. First things first, look at that. A permanent, most likely tattoo. If you could see that, I just burnt myself on the pipe from all the welding and then touched it. I'll show you what I've done. Welding still pretty shit. Getting a bit better. But some bends I don't have, so I had to sort of cut the pipe. Now, that goes from the front. Flex here, still not finished. You can see it all just tack weld. That goes up. That does clear. And I'll show you on the other side if you could see it. Pipe comes out from there. I hope you guys can see that. Now, I'm going to pull them all down and seal it all up with some welds. And this thing is really kicking my ass. It hurts. I probably should run it under cold water. So yeah, I'll pull that down. If I can just get it to the other side, that's the fun part because then it's dead straight. Like I said, the dump pipe was the hard bit, and this part. All I gotta do is seal it off, make it look good, and then yeah, we can just do the easy part, which is all dead straight stuff. Okay, so after filming that and finding out I didn't click the remote properly, I'm going to show you again. You know, I said don't make it too long. This will not fit. Not this way. Not from the back to the front. It'll hit the CV shaft. So I'm probably just going to cut it. Try to weld the V-band. I don't think the sleeves from eBay, those sleeve clamp bands, whatever they call them, they work if the pipe's not straight because they need 2 flat surfaces, 2 straight pipes. So you always need to leave that section. So wish me luck. I need to clean this up, or might just chop it. But I really don't want to. It makes it a bit hard for the V-band to be tightened. Yeah, it's going good. Said no one ever. Come on. There we go. Ugh. I decided to film this bit outside because the production quality went from 3 out of 10 to a straight 1 out of 10 underneath the car. So let's do this. Now, the thing about V-band, what I do like is you can rotate whatever it is, because obviously it just has to be on the flat surface, tighten it, you're done. Or V-bands, like, well, 99% of them out there. And even when you get a full pro to TIG weld and make it so good and you pay big money for a clamp, go get yourself a DJ smoke machine. Try this. Plug it at the back, tape it to your exhaust and let out the smoke. The V-bands will always leak some exhaust. And I spoke to a pro and he's like, yeah, they're not a perfect seal. Whereas the 2-bolt flange, where you use a gasket, you can use gasket glue, all that, perfect. That's why cars from factory have a 2-bolt flange. They just cost a bit more, and V-bands are convenient because you can sort of undo them. Now, the catalytic converter, I'm thinking about going V-band on it, and yeah, I don't know if it's a great idea, but it allows me to remove the cat if I ever wanted to. You ever get a defect? You ever want to change the oxygen sensor? You ever want to like do like a track day or something? I can make a little like a section, cat delete. I don't believe in deleting the cat. Hello, ice cream truck. That's the second one today. I don't believe in deleting a catalytic converter because you can run and fun fact, you can run an 8-second pass on a 100 cell cat. I know someone that's done it. So there's no excuse. You got to have some form of catalytic converter, and even then, the fine's not worth it regardless. And the gains are so small, you can make it elsewhere. Just run half a pound more boost. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that instead of these clamps. Now, sorry, I'm going on a bit here, but these clamps are good. And I will maybe use them later on for something else down on the track. But at the moment, as long as I've got that big pile of V-band, yeah, it's adding to the budget, maybe $1 or $2 more per clamp. But it's that peace of mind going, I've got a V-band clamp, you know. So not something that could just slide out. So yeah, I'm just gonna power ahead. I'm trying to minimize the video on the exhaust because I've noticed all my filming's gone through the roof time-wise. So let's do this. Peace. Just to let you know, the welder is actually on the lowest setting, and it still somehow finds a way to blow a hole into pipes. So it's just one of those things. I just got to be careful, and you want to keep the V-band, this flange part, as clean as possible. But it seems like anything that's falling on this coming off by finger because I'm not really directly welding it. But there you go. That's a start. We'll weld this later. I'll weld the other side. Easy removable, and chuck it in the bin. Okay, and there's people out there that are probably saying, "Oh, probably you know you don't know how to weld for shit." Well, no, I'm not an experienced welder, but I'll just show you. When the welder does play nice, you can get half decent welds. Yeah, my hand's a bit crooked, needs wheel alignment, but then it'll do that whole splutter and all that shit. All the things that everyone says gasless is terrible for. So I do battle it. Sometimes it plays nice, and you almost think you're dealing with a gas welder, and then suddenly it's just like, eh. So yeah, just in case you're thinking, look at this idiot. Still an idiot. Just some of the tools I'm using are just probably more stupid than me, anyways. Yes, 1 second we get an ice cream truck, the next second we got rain. Anyways, welcome to Sydney. First things first, don't forget your V-band flanges. Some of them are male and female. I almost stuffed that up. I've opened up 2 or 3 sets, and lucky enough, I welded them. And when I checked them, I was like, "Ooh, that was a lucky fluke." Secondly, remember this? This was on the front section of the exhaust on the on. I think it was on the flexi bit. Yeah, you can see where I've taken it off. I'm going to try to reuse this because the exhaust has to be lifted up, maybe like a centimeter or two, just because it's just touching the heat shield because of the flex is a bit going on the way. So they'll go something like this. Look at that. You could probably just weld that straight away. That looks like, I think, mild steel anyways. We'll do that. We'll mark it up underneath the car. Hopefully we can lift the exhaust a bit up, and then the Cali converter will start sitting a bit more straight because it is welded on straight now. It's just the flex. That's it. We just got to keep battling this weather. I don't want to be welding in the rain. I was before. It's not ideal. Okay, so I just finished welding this. Now the bottom part holds the pipe up. I'm just gonna go underneath the car and I'll show you, and we'll see if we're gonna weld this or we'll just, yeah, see what we can do. Okay, so underneath the car, I don't know if you could see it. It's touching just enough now that we can weld something on it. You see the pipe, how it just sits on there. Let me pull this a bit back. You might be able to see better. Now, we're going to try to utilize maybe like an L or something we can weld onto there, just so we can, like I said, that's now touching where we want it. But I don't want to weld myself in and then we can't get to that V-band. So at the moment, it is workable, the V-band, but it's going to get a lot harder once it becomes one piece. It does have a bit of flex, but I think that's its job. So just giving you guys a heads up if you do come to use it. If not, you can just get those what the exhaust shop use, like those like the rods, and utilize the factory mounts there. That's another way, but I'm just trying to keep things on the cheap. No, this is not a horror movie. This is what just a bit of test and cut, and look, you can see I tried something else there. Now, long story short, this will mount up to the, I don't know if you call it the exhaust hanger or whatever it is, through these rubber bits. You can see the 2 there. Now, this part, I'll show you what happens. This is just an example of the exhaust system. It sits like that, and then all you got to do is put a hose clamp all around the exhaust in this. Now, I got the idea from eBay because they've got an exhaust hanger kit. Can buy that. I might even look into it tonight, but I am going to sort of make this, weld it a bit more, paint it, because it's an eyesore the way it looks. Not that it's going to make it any better, but still, if it's at least painted, look, yeah. And so that's that part done. Now time's running out for me, so hopefully tomorrow I get into now the last half. I'm hoping the last half does roll quick because I knew that I always said the first two sections were going to be hard, and this is a part of the second section because this pretty much wraps it up, and then we keep going from there. So it's okay for the day. Some progress. I will clean this one up just now, paint it, and like I said, I'll just continue tomorrow.